I work at the University of Illinois in the USA, even though I've got an Australian accent. I've been here for 16 years now, 17 years actually. Another year is about to tick over. And I work in the area, I historically worked in the area of literacy, but then became very interested in multimodality, including visual imagery and the way in which literacy, reading and writing is these days often complemented by and very close to various forms of visual representation. That's the work that I do. I'd also like to introduce Tamsin Gilbert, who is on site at the conference in Krakow. And what I'd like to mention briefly, and I've got these numbers here, which I'm just going to tell you, just to give you a sense of the size of the conference if you're not actually there. We have 106 people on site in Krakow who are part of the English language stream. We have 19 people who are there as part of the Spanish language stream. And then we have 100 people also online and in the English language stream and 20 in the Spanish language stream. Now, what we do is we very much encourage everybody, obviously the online people, but also the in-person people, to submit their presentation as an electronic, in electronic form. Sometimes that's just a PowerPoint, sometimes it's a video they've made with the PowerPoint, or we take any form of electronic media, to be quite frank. And Tamsin tells me, she's done the stats this morning, that we have 247 pieces of digital media. Wow, that's a conference for you. There's lots of stuff happening. And just to give you a little overview of this particular session now, after this, I'm going to introduce the conference a little bit, talk about a little bit about what the conference does. Then I'll get you folks to all introduce yourselves. It's very nice to know who everyone else is, who's participating. So I'll go around the Zoom tiles, and if you can possibly introduce yourself, that would be great. If you're in a noisy Starbucks or you can't, you have a microphone not working or something or other, just say so, put something in the chat. And then after that, what Tamsin's going to do is do an introduction to the online platform. I think in many ways it's pretty user-friendly, but nevertheless, it's useful to have somebody who shows you all the things you can do in that online platform. A little history of that platform. COVID came all of a sudden in March 2020, and we had all these people coming to conferences. So very, very hurriedly, we got together and developed the event app within the CGScholar platform. So CGScholar is our platform. It's a publishing platform. It's a community building platform. It has the bookstore with all the content in it, but also we very hurriedly, when COVID came, built the event platform. And we're rather proud of it. It's a unique platform, and we think that it's a very good way to communicate. But one thing I'm going to say to everybody, and this is an order, when you go to a page with the digital content, do not leave without leaving a comment, because what we depend on with this conference, the online component particularly, is asynchronous interaction. And when you leave a comment, it generates an email with a link back to that area in amongst the participants in that group, the speakers and whatever. So it's really, the interaction stuff is very important. Unfortunately, with the web, we've got into the habit of just viewing things, being consumers rather than producers, being passive rather than active. So we want you really to be active. And as I say, there's the rule. When you go to a page, look at the media, but don't leave without leaving a comment to keep the dialogue running. So firstly, a little bit of a background about the conference. I'm going to share my screen now. And it's this one here that I want to share. And I hope I'm sharing that okay. So this is the overall theme, the social role of art in this particular conference. New aesthetic expressions, and we have this special focus every year, but we have beneath that a number of themes which are there every year, which is teaching, learning in the arts, pedagogy, arts, theories and histories, new media technology in the arts, arts and social, political and community life, And you know what the key of what we're doing with this conference is interdisciplinary work. We have people from all sorts of areas of research, areas of academia, areas of teaching, areas of arts practice. And one of the things that I recommend to people is go to unlikely sessions. You never know, there might be a spark there, which is incredibly interesting. You know, of course, go to the things that you're very familiar with, but also go to some unlikely sessions as well. And also, while I mentioned this is an annual conference, this year it's in Krakow, but next year the conference is going to be in South Korea. And we're very, very grateful to our partners who each year support the conference and are part of keeping this research network alive and happy. But the other thing I want to mention to you is that in addition to the conference, we have a publication program. So Common Ground Research Networks is a scholarly publisher. And as members of this research network, you're members by virtue of joining the you have access to this incredible resource. This is the 18th time we've run this conference. And here is this incredible resource of 31 books, but then across the journals as well, we have 1,673 electronic articles. Now, you can't read them all. And the reason why we have this advanced search up here is this means we can dig deeper around things that may particularly interest us. So almost invariably, you know, if your area is a highly specialized area, you're going to find something in here of value. And one of the important points that we make is that in academia, one of the ways in which you honor other people's work is by citing that work. So please use this incredible resource. And when you use it, cite other folks' work as well. So you can see here there are a number of different subjournals. That's another way to filter. There's one on new media and technology. You can filter down to that. However, the subjournals are relatively new. Initially, we only have one journal, so the advanced search is the best way to find things. So that's a little overview of the conference and how it works. Tamsin, anything important before we go on and do some introductions? Anything important that I've left out, or does anybody have a question they'd like to ask?
What I might do is after we do our introductions, I'll go through the CGScholar Event Schedule platform and microsite, and then perhaps we might have questions after that if people are still a little confused. Excellent.
That's a good plan. So look, I'd like to go around the room now, and I'm going to just go around in the order of my Zoom tiles. So I'm going to go around the room and get each person to introduce themselves. And while we're doing that, if you're presenting, Tamsin will bring up a link to your presentation. But we'd just like to get to know who everybody is and get some introductions. And the first person I have there is Alec.
Hi there. Hi there. Yeah, my name's Alec. I'm based in North Wales, Northeast Wales. I'm talking to you from my home at the moment. I'm working from home today, but the campus that I work at is a city called Wrexham in North Wales, which is the second largest city in Wales. I'm a professor of art and society at Wrexham University, and I'm talking at this conference about some examples of practice of artists working in my region who are making work in and around the environment, whether that be physically or conceptually. So I'm talking to a group of artists that I'm interested in and showcasing their work. I've worked at Wrexham University for 7 years. Before that, I was at the University of Lincoln for about 8 years. And hello, nice to meet you. I should say, actually, I'm an artist by trade. I trained in the visual arts. So I got into academia by teaching.
Bill, I think you're on mute.
And there's your presentation, and I can see you've had 74 engagements already. So there's the digital media is down the bottom. So okay, great, excellent. Now, who do we have? The next person I have in. So welcome, Alec. Great to have you here. Next person I have in my Zoom tiles is Hyunju Cho.
I think there's a comment in the chat.
I can see the comment in the chat. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I will. I'll pull that up, and it'll come up in a second. Okay. And the next one is this. Is that the one? Yes, there it is. There. So there's Eugene's contemporary artist books, a cultural study for artists, rematerialization and value translation. Excellent. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. And as I say, what we have is these cross-cultural perspectives. 83 people been to your page already. That's encouraging. Next person we have is Susanna Foxley Tapia.
Here I am. Okay, hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you, William? Well, I am Chilean. I am a Chilean documentary practitioner and also a teacher at the Catholic University of Chile, the School of Film and TV. I direct the film during the last almost 4 years. And I am presenting today, not today, I'm presenting on Thursday this project, which is called The Time That Remains. Is an interactive documentary that we worked with collaborative methodologies in a neighborhood in Santiago, Chile. It's an academic project, interdisciplinary, which was produced with students, teachers, professionals, and researchers.
Excellent. I can see you're in a room, so that means you're there in person as well. Excellent. Welcome. And again, these themes about engagement and are big themes through the whole conference. So I hope you get a good representation coming to the online part and to the actual session. Okay, the next person we have in my Zoom tiles is Michelangela Berardi.
Good afternoon, I'm Michelangela Verardi. I work from Fine Art Academy and I teach brand legal protection. And for that conference, my work presents a research that is my doctoral thesis regarding university identity, statutes and architectures, and investigates the role of statutes and architecture in shaping the identity of the university. University is fundamentally a community, and that's two different elements, legal and artistic elements, function as a sign and representation of identity, and fostering the sense of community and the sense of belonging in a community. That is my work, and that is my achievement to present at the conference.
Excellent. It's wonderful to see that you, as a professor in fashion, are thinking about these issues about the institutional architecture where you work.
Yes, so. Because it seems a paradox, but the business model of the university and the fashion are really connected because I have a strong brand identity, a strong brand community, and it's possible to merge different perspectives.
Excellent. That's great. It'll be fascinating. All right, so then we'll move on.
Thank you very much.
And the next one that I have in the Zoom tiles is Letitia Kozlova. Sorry to stumble on your name. So yes, are you able to introduce yourself? Hey, good to see you.
Yes. Hello. Nice to see you. So my name is Leticia Kozlova. I am based in Porto, Catholic University of Porto. I study what happens when we listen to recorded human spoken voice. So my object of study is human voice, and I will actually, I have recorded a video presentation, which will be online tomorrow, I guess. And the title is the Social Role of Voice. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. And that's a very, very important theme across all the arts as well. So and theoretically and practically a difficult concept. So yeah, very, very nice. Excellent. Okay. Now who do we have? The next one that I have across my tiles is Dawn Larson. You don't have your audio working, Dawn, if you could just turn that on.
Sorry about that. I've been having both camera and mic difficulties, so I apologize. Hello, everyone. I'm Dawn Larson. I am coming to you from the United States. I teach at Columbia College in Chicago, Illinois, which is a private arts and media school. The classes that I teach are around arts, media, and entertainment law. That's what my students are studying, not the law per se, but to go into the music business, the film business, etc. And my area of research is primarily in copyright and other intellectual property law and issues that relate to the arts and entertainment. And lately, my focus has been particularly on the conflict between artificial intelligence and copyright law, primarily with regard to US copyright law, but also a little, although my presentation doesn't delve into it, in my research, I'm also delving into AI and copyright law in other countries, because copyright law in the US is very similar to copyright law in the UK, but it's very different than copyright law in other areas. So it's very nice to meet all of you, and I look forward to all of your presentations.
Yes, look, and this copyright issue has become tremendously important. All of a sudden, it completely changed shape with the coming of AI. So that's a very important topic for all of us. So thank you for being here and to present it. Okay, the next one that I have is Ruth Helen Smith.
Hello, is that working?
Yes, I can hear you, Ruth.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. Hello, I'm Ruth. I'm an artist and gallerist in North Taunton, a little town in Devon in England. My background's in art history, so and I'll be talking on a vision for a decentralized model for the arts and about grassroots art ventures in Southwest England, really based on my experience from moving from a big centre in London to this quite tiny rural location, and setting up arts collectives and supporting arts and generating community here. So I'm really grateful to be able to present, and also for this blended format, and hopefully the engagement that will kind of come from that. I'm excited to sort of see how that goes. But yeah, no, thank you so much for putting this together.
And thank you for being here. And look, these lessons about grassroots artistic and initiatives and issues that are closely connected to the community. These are big issues across the whole conference, actually. So I'm sure you're going to find lots of sessions which connect with that very, very well as well. And again, please use the resource of the published material already, the material that's in the journal. Okay, the next one I have is Xia Xin Ming. Are you able to speak with us?
Hello, this is
hello, and introduce yourself.
I'm a PhD candidate from the City University of Hong Kong. Hong Kong. I will be presenting virtually and on the history and story of the Chengdu Biennale, and an interesting and also controversial Chinese biennial.
Very interesting, very interesting, very interesting. Yes, and welcome. And again, in the past, we've held several of these conferences beside biennales, biennials, and so you'll find quite a few papers about that actually in the published resource online. So I hope you've managed to use those, and you've had 53 engagements already. Congratulations, and please everybody, again, make sure when you go there you leave a comment. Okay, the next person I have is Dorcas Jung.
Hello. Hi. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Dorcas. I'm a PhD student in Queensland University of Technology. I'm currently in Brisbane. So before I start the presentation I'm going to be presenting in this conference is about arts funding in Australia under the influence of the changing political and public administration model. So I will focus more on the public value management model. And it is actually part of my PhD study. I'm comparing arts funding model of Hong Kong and Australia. I'm interested in the symbiotic relationship between the arts funder, especially the public arts funding agencies, and also the arts sector. I focus on performing arts. So thank you very much for putting us together. It's lovely to meet everyone here. Thank you.
Yes, great to meet you. And here's your presentation here. No, actually, that's the next one. So we're going to get Duffy is the next one we have on our list. So let me go back to you before we go on to that one. I hope this is the one. Yes, there we go. Dorcas Jung.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Excellent. And lots of issues that across many domains. Okay, now the next one we have, as I said, is Sage Duffy, and I think I've got that presentation up here. Yes, Sage Duffy. Over to you, Sage.
Hi, I'm Sage Duffy. I'm based in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a recent graduate from UNC Charlotte's Master of Architecture program. Unfortunately, no one else on my team can be here today, but I'm here to spread some information. I'm part of a firm that does a lot of public art projects that's based with a professor at UNC Charlotte and works with like a lot of students to design and fabricate these public art projects. I'm sorry, was there anything else that I needed to include? This was just about one specific project. Charlotte is a pretty big transplant city, so this is kind of like exploring how we can bring some knowledge to like the history of the city of Charlotte to these newer residents.
Excellent. Okay, great. And welcome. And we're always welcoming one person from a group that's representing the rest. So it's great to have you here as well. So, okay, the next one that I have is, where did I go? Martina Cayul.
Hi, hello. Can you hear me?
We can hear you very well, yeah.
Perfect. Hi, I'm a Chilean sociologist. I also study aesthetic, and I'm currently finishing my master's degree in art, culture, and Latin American thought. And I'm going to be participating online. Well, I already upload my digital media, and it's based on my aesthetic project, final project. And it's about the role of non-human in the creation of a palette, but I also work in Universidad Nacional de San Martín in Argentina, and I conduct a circle study about art and not human engagement and the role in the creation, environment, and territory.
Excellent, wonderful, and welcome. And look, and one of the great things about this online conferences that opens up possibilities for people to join from all over the world without having to travel all the way to Krakow. So it's great that you could be here with us. The next one is from, I just see a message there in the chat from Carolina there, and I'll bring up her session. I'll read out what it is. She's unable to join two-port connection. That's absolutely fine. This is her session here, which is extending themes, the model of creativity, distortion, and pandemic times. Oh, dearie me, talk about distortion, absolutely, and it's sort of distorting the arts, very, very important topic. Research into sociology, creativity, and creative writing. I'm just reading what's there. The C4C model of creativity. Yeah, this question of what the nature of creativity is a really important question. So I'm just moving on now to our next one. And there's somebody who just in their Zoom ID is Marti, M-A-R-T-I.
Hello, my name is Martha Foxoven, and I am coming from, I'm not a presenter, but I'm coming from Denver, Colorado. I am simply part of the audience, and I will, I have already gone through and figured out the sessions that I really want to see online, but as a guest host, we have an interesting program at the Denver Art Museum. And what it requires is that we participate with the audience. In other words, all the visitors who come to the museum and are visiting, and to engage them in interesting information about the art and artists. And I'm so excited to participate in this program. So thank you.
Fantastic, wonderful, wonderful. Great to have you, and great to have people who are here to listen, but you're also here to comment. So for goodness sake, put some messages into the box, into the chat box underneath the digital media. Okay, we have Kavanagh Kelly there. I think you've joined us recently. My tiles are jumping around, so I hope I haven't missed too many people.
Kavanagh, do you want to say hello?
Yes.
Just tell us a bit about yourself.
Sure. Greetings. I'm coming from United States, up in northern part of the United States, up in Maine. From Hudson University. I'm an occupational therapist and a professor, and my work is around teaching healthcare students how to be more empathetic in practice. And the way I do that is through literary narratives that have some evidence showing that if you read a literary narrative with certain characteristics in the story, after you read it, you're more empathic. So what I did in this original study, and I've done it repeatedly, is done pre and post measures with the healthcare students before and after the class, do these literary narratives after they read them, and we discuss them and they write about and reflect on them. Do they make them more empathic? And it's been clearly shown that they do. I'm kind of taking it to the next level as it translates into practice now, but this is kind of where I'm at this point, showing that it seems to be working in terms of making the students more empathetic by the time they get done with this particular class.
Oh, very, very nice. Yeah, again, it's the application of these aesthetic and narrative and arts principles to some of the challenges of life. So wonderful. Yeah, thank you very, very much for being with us and for presenting the conference. Now, my tiles have jumped around all over the place, and if there's somebody I've missed, I wonder if you could put your link in the chat box there, and I will get you to introduce yourselves as well. So I might have missed someone along the way, because what it is with Zoom, it's a movable feast. You think you'll follow the tiles, and then they move. So does anybody else? Kushawa, go ahead. Manpreet Kushawa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
We can hear you well.
Yeah. I'm from India, and I'm an assistant professor with the Government College, NIFT, National Institute of Fashion Technology, Hyderabad. So NIFT has 18 centers. So I'm from Hyderabad. So basically, my study is revolving around installation arts and Indian case studies on Indian artists who have been working on sustainable and recycled materials to create installations. And how do they deal with their space? How do they deal with materials? And how do they evoke sensorial aspects through their art? This is what my study deals with. So yeah, I'm very excited to be a part of this conference. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful, and I can see your presentation up there as well. So that's really great. Arts-based material, study of art installations made with sustainable and recycled media materials by Indian artists. Wonderful, and welcome to have you here. The next one that I have, who's just volunteered to introduce themselves, is Yael Levy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yael Levi. I am based between Poland and the US. Currently, I'm in the US, so I cannot be personally in Krakow. I'm a visual artist, and I did my master's at the Liberal Arts Department, University of Warsaw, where I conducted research on the photographic collection of the Jewish Museum in Berlin, the first Jewish museum, the pre-war. And that's how I got to learn about Franz Zizek, who was an educator, an artist educator, active in Vienna, the beginning of the 20th century. And I linked his practice with the theory of the philosopher Martin Buber, active at the same time around Vienna and Berlin. So my presentation will be about the notion of dialogue in art education between past and present, with thinking about future of art education, especially child art education.
Oh, wonderful. Fascinating. And again, you know, you've delved into some really, you know, some profound historical material. And for everybody else, that sometimes you'll discover these surprising connections. So I'm going to suggest everybody go to as many papers as you can and look for these connections. So fascinating. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for joining us at the conference. Do we have anybody else now who hasn't introduced themselves? You can either put up your hand or you can put a link to your session in the chat. I think we might have covered most people actually. So it's great to have a good roll up today. And also I want to welcome all the folks who are listening to this or watching and listening to this recording as well, because we find people find the asynchronous sessions very most convenient. So I'm just going to, before I hand over to Tamsin, I'm going to go back and just kind of welcome the people who came a little bit late. So here we are, we're at the 18th International Conference on Arts and Society. It's being held in Poland now in person. We've got about 100 people at the conference in person, or 120 if you include the Spanish language group. And we have about the same number online, about 120 online as well, Spanish and English. So welcome to everybody, great to have you here. And a little kind of advertisement for next year's conference, which is going to be in South Korea. But in addition to the conference, and my apologies to people who've heard this already, but I'm just really repeating it for the folks who are who've come in a little bit late. We have this incredible resource here. So after the conference, we're going to ask you, if you wish, to put in a paper for peer review. So turn your presentation into a paper. We have a set of reciprocal obligations in the group where we ask you all to be peer reviewers on each other's work. And over the years, we've built up this remarkable body of work, cross-disciplinary work about the role of the arts in society, the nature of the arts and how they connect with human learning, community life, and so on. So, and we published nearly 1,700 pieces, including 31 books. Now, as members of the research network, you have access to all of this. We very much encourage you to use this advanced search function because you've got to find something invariably which is pretty close to what your interests are. So thank you all for being here. As I say, and I'm going to say it yet again, is don't leave a session without leaving a comment. The interaction is really, really important, and particularly between the in-person people and the online people. So even if you're in an in-person session, while you're in the session, have their page open the page of that session open, and you can be commenting while they're presenting. So then we have a kind of a record of the conversation. All right, so I am going to hand over now to Tamsin, who will answer all the more practical questions. So she'll walk you through the platform, and if you have questions about how it works and the format of the whole event, you will see that now. So, all right, everybody, I'll leave you now and hand you over to Tamsin.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to begin by putting some links in the chat here. These are just some handy links to updating your profile and information that I'm going to talk about today, just in case I go a little quickly or you need to go back. This video will also be uploaded to the event schedule, and I'll show you exactly where following the session, if you'd like to go back over it or anything like that, or I've missed something, or as I said it a little too quickly. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. Helena, I can see you. Maybe you can give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Yeah, okay, great. So this is CGScholar. If you are not logged in, you'll see a login in the top right-hand corner of this page. If you are logged in, you'll see a screen like mine that will ask you to go to profile. There are a number of different ways to get here. So you can do something as simple as going to cgscholar.com. If you're on the website, which is what Bill was showing you before, you can go ahead and click on this button that says CGScholar Event Mircosite. That will also take you to part of the microsite page. For the purpose of this conversation, I'm going to click on go to profile here. We strongly encourage you to update your profile. Each one of you has a profile in Scholar where you can put things like a microbio, your experience, education, a photograph, and things like that. In the event schedule, your name will be hyperlinked to this profile. People will be able to see it. They will be able to add you as a peer. If you would like to update that, there's one of two ways of doing it. Firstly, you can go to the top right-hand corner. Once you're logged in, you can go down to account settings and click on that there. That will take you to all the information you need, including updating your microbio. The most important here is really affiliation. That's the short text that will appear next to your name. Make sure to add that as your primary affiliation there. You might have multiple affiliations or past affiliations, but the one that is listed as your primary is what will be listed in the event schedule. Another way to get there is if you click on community here, it will take you also here. You'll see your name. You can go down and go to profile there. And then you can make the changes that way. I did put a link in the knowledge base to updating your profile for more information there and details. If you're ever lost, I recommend going to the knowledge base there through those links. You can click on the get support. You can ask different questions, put in keywords. If you still can't find your answer at the bottom of the page, you can click no, and that will, through that process, you can submit a ticket. Please include as much information as possible, like your presentation or registration number and things like that. Then we'll be able to help you a little bit quicker. So returning to CGScholar, this is where the conference is housed. If you want to get to the conference microsite page, you can go down here and go to your events. Another way to do that is just clicking on this event right here. So if you go ahead and click on event, it will go to the most recent conference, which is that one right there, and it'll take you to this page. Now, this is the about page. It includes some of the information that Bill was discussing before, such as the special focus, as well as the themes that are annual themes. It also includes links to the book imprint and the journal collection. So please do have a look there. I'll just go through each of these tabs and kind of explain what we mean by the microsite and what we do here. If you are presenting, you have a proposal that has been accepted. This tab will not say submit a proposal, it would say your proposal. Now, I'm not presenting at the conference, so that's why mine says submit a proposal. But when you click on your proposal there, you'll be able to scroll down to the bottom of the page. This will be your presenter page, and that is where you'll be able to upload your digital media. I've put a hyperlink in the, put a link in the chat to describe what types of digital media we accept. All online only presenters are required to upload digital media as their form of a synchronous presentation. This is how you'll be presenting during the conference. And I'll show you a little bit more in detail as we move through the tabs here, how that works. We do strongly encourage the in-person presenters to also upload digital media. This sort of encourages a richer experience for both the online only presenters and the in-person presenters. They're able to go back and use it as a resource. So this is where you'll do that. If you upload your digital media on your presenter page and it doesn't appear right away, we do have a process of review. So give us a little minute or two, give us a bit of time to go ahead and review your digital media. We are trying to do it as soon as possible at the moment because we realize the conference is tomorrow where I am, but may also be today where you are. So at the moment, we're sort of in full speed mode for reviewing that digital media. Just scroll on to the next tab. So you'll have some information under your registration here. Yours might look a little bit different to mine. This is where you can download your receipt and see any extras that you're signed up for and things like that. Special events can be, I'm skipping over presentations because I'll get to that in just 1 second. Special events, you can sign up for special events under the special events tab. Some of them are online special events. This is the session we're in right now. Some of them are in-person special events like the conference dinner. These will close, so please sign up as soon as possible. Those can be added there. Now the presentations tab, I'll just let that load. This following tab will be unique to your profile. Whatever presentations you decide to follow, you'll be able to access them through this following tab. I'm looking at people, Yael's might be different to Manpreet's, might be different to mine. It's just depending on how we follow presentations, and I'll show you how to do that in the event schedule. Featured presentations. We have a great emerging scholar program. These are people who will be moderating sessions, both in person and online only. We like to put our emerging scholars front and center with the Emerging Scholar Award. And so these are their sessions highlighted here under the featured presentation tab. I encourage you to click on them, have a look, comment, and go to their sessions in person if you can. As I mentioned before, we have a number of different themes that are both annual and the special focus. Say, for example, I'm interested in the special focus. I might scroll down here under the themes tab, if I can find it, and focus on those presentations. Maybe I've passed it now because I'm going too quickly. Let's use Kathleen as an example here. As you can see, I can click on Kathleen's name here, and this takes me to her profile page, as I mentioned before. Sorry, I'm in a hotel. And Kathleen actually has updated some of her information. You can see that her recent experience is there, as well as her microbiome. I can go ahead and add Kathleen as a peer if I want to contact her. I can also go ahead and click on the community page there. If I want to read more about Kathleen's presentation, I can click on the title to be taken to her presentation page. I can click on the right button here that says follow, and that will allow me to follow her presentation, as well as read her abstract, see the presenters if there are any other ones apart from her, as well as look at the keywords and presentation type here. I can see that Kathleen actually hasn't uploaded digital media at this stage. So I'll go ahead and request this digital media by clicking on this hyperlink right here. It says the presenter has been notified of your request. So what pressing that button means is that Kathleen is now going to receive an email saying someone's interested in seeing her digital media. When she uploads that, when Kathleen uploads that digital media, I, as the requester, will also receive an email notifying me that it has now been uploaded. If I want a quick way to get back to that presentation, I'm now following it. As I said before, I can go ahead and go back to this presentations tab here. And I can see now that I'm following that. So it's appeared there on my following tab. I'm going to go ahead and unfollow that. And what will happen is it'll be removed from that page when I go back there next time. I'm going to go over to the event schedule now so that we can see. Oh, sorry, forgive me. I've skipped over things by type. I was getting too enthusiastic there. Let's say, for example, I'm interested in workshops or poster presentations. I can go ahead and look down and take a look at all the posters that are available during the conference. Seems we have a lot of themed paper presentations. Maybe I can find the posters. There's the workshops and the poster sessions there. And then the last one is alphabetical. It's kind of exactly what it sounds like in alphabetical order of presentations. I'm going to go ahead and click on this schedule tab here. Now we can see that we're on this day now, the 4th of July, the pre-conference day. If you signed up for the walking tour, you're probably on it now or just finished. And you would have received all the information about accessing that. We're in this online welcome and training session now. So I can go ahead and click on the title there and it will take me to more information about this session as well as the Zoom link. The video for this presentation will appear here at the bottom of the page. And even people who are watching this now, feel free to introduce yourself in the discussion board here. We'll be able to see those comments throughout the session. Just a quick note, we do have Spanish language sessions throughout the conference. If you would like to take a look at those and participate in Spanish language sessions, you can do so by clicking down here and going to Spanish language, and then you can participate in these sessions that way. I'll go back to English now for the sake of example. Now you can see here in the tab, it says live online only. The sessions that include live online only in the subtitle and have a Zoom link, these are the sessions that you can attend live, like this one now. You'll see here that these plenary sessions and the conference opening, they will be recorded and uploaded straight after the session. If you are, for example, interested in Barbara's plenary session tomorrow morning, this video will appear here. You can go ahead and watch that and comment and ask questions in the discussion board. Anyone who's tagged in this session will receive an email saying that someone has commented in the discussion board. This is the same case for all the online only presentations, which I'll show you shortly. So we have the talking circles tomorrow morning, as well as the themed papers, and we will continue there. I would like to just quickly show, just so you know, if you're attending in person, registration opens tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. The address should be listed here in the link there. I'll go over to this online only tab. Now, as I said before, all online only presentations are asynchronous and rely on digital media as the form of presentation. So I'll scroll down here. I might be interested in community links, and I can see these presentations are part of that themed panel. If I'd like to read more about the presentations in this themed panel, I can click the title, Community Links. And it will take me to the panel page, which includes the title, abstract, links to the presenter's name, and then we can see all the information from there. I can see that actually all these presenters have uploaded their digital media, so that's fantastic news. If you go ahead and click on the view digital media button here, you'll be taken to the presenter page. You can scroll down, you can watch the presentation of Pedro right there, and then you can join the discussion board. Now, important to note, the discussion board is for the panel. It is not for the individual presentations. These presentations have been themed for a reason. And we have the discussion as a sort of as a conversation between the presentations in this session. We do the same thing in the in-person presentations. Each of the presenters presents for 20 minutes, and then we have discussion and question at the end as a panel. So the same idea carries through here. If you have a question and you type a question in there, if someone responds to your question, you'll receive an email about that. We have moderators of the session who are there not only to ask questions, but engage with the other people in the discussion boards. We can see that this is one of our emerging scholars because the session is featured there. If I click on Suzanne's presentation, oh, maybe I didn't actually click on it, sorry. I can see that she's had 65 engagements, and I can see that her video is embedded here. And I can go ahead and play that whenever I'm ready. The idea is that you can do this in your own time over the next few days. It's not time-based. You're not in a rush to see everything at one time. If you miss something, you can go back and watch it later. The event schedule becomes sort of a time capsule or archive of the conference. And we encourage people to go back and look at those resources again and again. If someone responds to your question, maybe a month later, you'll get an email about that as well. So I fear I may have gone a little quickly, and I also fear that I may have skipped something. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look in the chat. When do the resources come down? Sorry, Ruth, I'm going to have to ask you to explain that. What do you mean by come down?
When do they become unavailable?
They're available indefinitely to people who are registered for the conference.
For beyond the 3 days of the conference?
Yes. Like I said, it becomes a resource that you can go back to again and again.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you for explaining that.
No worries. Does anyone else want to unmute and ask a question? Perhaps I've gone too quickly.
Yeah.
Which is always my fear.
I had a question about, I'm a presenter, online presenter. I'm not sure exactly when my discussion session is going to happen.
Okay, so like I mentioned, the digital media is your session. There's no time that you need to be there online. Right. Actually, the discussion boards are open now, so people can go ahead and start commenting in the discussion boards now, as of now. If everyone's enthusiastic and wants to start taking a look right away, they can. You will receive an email when someone comments in the discussion board. I encourage you to take a look in the discussion boards over the next few days as well. Just for example, maybe that email might go to the wrong folder or something like that. But there is no specific time. These sessions are asynchronous.
Okay.
We have over 120 international delegates from, I think we suggested today, 43 different countries, and there is no time zone that sort of fits everyone. So we've, over the next few days, you'll see the discussion boards become a really vibrant place. I hope that answered your question. Does anyone else have a question? Feel free to unmute yourself. Oh, sorry, I'm accidentally minimized my chat. My presentation says it has 21 engagements, but I can't see any comments. Am I missing something? Yes, engagements are not the same as comments. So you'll see the discussion boards. As I said before, you'll get an email when there are comments in the discussion boards. Engagements are the number of people that have engaged with your presentation page. So it's the people who have clicked on that page, viewed the digital media, and also read the abstract and all the details there. Yes, we need to start commenting to get things going, Alec. I completely agree. Not, Dorcas, in answer to your question, not all the in-person presentations are recorded. The plenary sessions and the opening session are recorded. We do encourage you to request digital media from the in-person parallel presenters. If you request it, like I said before, they will receive an email saying that you're interested in it, and we will push them on site to get their digital media uploaded as well. Sorry, I want to make sure. No worries. Thanks, Susanna. Thanks, Alec. Yes, so what else I'm going to do is I put those details in the chat to the knowledge base. I'm also going to add our email address to contact us if you have any questions over the next few days, even if it's just something sort of easy and simple, like I can't remember my password or something like that. Please feel free to contact us at any time. Remember that you won't be able to see the digital media unless you are signed in, because it is based on people who are registered for the conference. And so if you're not signed in, we don't know you're registered. So please make sure to sign in the top right-hand corner of the page. That's always important. And also, please get in those discussion boards. You know, pick a session or a series of sessions, follow them, watch the digital media, and we look forward to seeing you there. We do have the emerging scholars in the discussion boards as well as in person, so you'll see them around. And please feel free to contact us if you have any questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I just want to, before I leave you, double check that no one else has any questions before I leave. Okay. Well, with that, I look forward to meeting some of you in person and the rest of you online. And have a good morning or evening or middle of the day, lunch, wherever you are. See you soon.